Today's project, still working on the max long range. We're going to go to the range, set up at 100 yards. I'm zeroed for 200, but we're going to do a 100-yard group. See what group's better, the 147 ELD Match or the 143 ELD-X. I'm hoping the ELD-X, but whatever shoots better, more accurate, is what I'm going to go with. And Stacy's going to be plinking with her Creedmoor, so probably going to watch her outshoot me.
Ready to do some shooting?
What?
You ready to do some shooting?
Yep. First up, we're going to do the ELD Match. Bottom target. And we'll try the ELD-X. I'll shoot some too. Love, you go right ahead. I went a half minute over on the gun. This is the ELD-X. It's damn near the same spot as the Match. So there's a 3-shot group. Basically looks like 2 right in the same hole. That's the ELD-M. Looks like I am about a half minute left. But for our 200 yard zero, we're looking pretty good. Last thing I'm going to do is a tall target test. I dialed my scope up 28.5 minutes. That's just because I would go a full 30 minutes, but my zero is 200. So I just want to aim and see, make sure my scope is level. I'll show you guys what I mean after tracked right. Might be a little high. I'm gonna go 25 minutes instead. Might have went right over. So for my tall target test, I was aiming here. We were over about a half a minute. So that tells me either one thing, my scope isn't perfect to my gun, perfectly level. It's canted a hair. Or I didn't have my gun level on the bench. I thought I had it level, but that's the one thing I'm going to double check. So if it is looking pretty level, I'm going to have to go and remount my scope and bring it over just a hair, because at 25 minutes, that's about half minute angle, so 1,000 yards, I'd be 5 inches roughly off to the right. The other thing it'll tell me is whether I'm going to have to need a correction factor. So if I measure this distance from here to here, it should be roughly 25, 26 inches, somewhere right in there. I'll do the calculation, but it's 25 times 1.047 inches in a minute of angle. So that total distance should be pretty close to 25 and a half, 26 inches. So if it's not, I'll know I'll have to do a correction factor. So, but all in all, the Match and the ELD-X both shot really well. The Match might have shot a little bit better. I'm not super steady today, I'm not gonna lie. Just a couple coffees and not eating due to you, but I think I'm safe to go with either one, and these groups will tighten up a little bit. For now, I think I'll probably stick with the Match for target shooting, and it's not going to hurt to hunt with the ELD-X, so nice to know I can shoot both. So my gun does look canted a hair. I'm going to try a few more here. And it would have brought my reticle over just a hair left, so I think I'll try this test one more time and show the results. So I went ahead and leveled my gun, and we ended up right there and there. Still pretty shaky, but that's looking a lot better, so I'm not going to touch the scope. Basically, that's going to confirm my tall target test for my scope level is good. I'll just take this home, measure it up, and see how the tracking, how far we went, if we actually went 25 minutes or more or less. So last thing to do was to check the tracking. So my point of aim was here. That was at 100 yards I was shooting, but my rifle is zeroed at 200 yards, so it's actually 1.5 inches high. So this is where my impact would be, was when I was shooting at 100 yards. So from this distance, you take 1.047 inches in a minute of angle, and I times it by 25, you get about 26.1. So if you follow it up, 26.1 is right there, about right there on that line. So the tracking on that scope is perfect. That is, I'm really happy with that. So I know when I dial 25 minutes on that scope, I'm actually dialing an accurate 25 minutes, and I don't need a correction factor. So you never know with scopes if you need to make an adjustment or need a correction factor, but I'm really happy with this. It looks pretty level, really level. And when I dial 25 minutes on it, I know scope internals are moving 25 minutes, so looks really good. Happy with it. That's Vortex Viper PSD Gen 2.5 by 25. I shoot a second focal plane.